It is Wednesday. We're in the office of Troy G. Ward. Wednesdays with Ward, episode number 15. Numbers and colors, red against blue. 2 home games left. This is exciting.
It is exciting. It'll be a good weekend. Obviously, Toronto poses a great threat, as we know, and a playoff foe from a year ago. So it's been a good series all year with them.
Yeah, and you've done quite well. You've lost 1 in regulation, won 4, and earned an overtime point for another. So you have to like what you've seen thus far. But there's been some major changes in the last week, and I wonder how much that changes the way you'd practice or approach this group, given the amount of traffic between Calgary and here, and then some new guys showing up.
Yeah, it's changed our prep here quite a bit. I mean, we've done a lot of new things with new players, so to speak. And mainly just kind of like, I guess, buffering like the old guys along, because we've been now afforded 2 weeks of practice. Like, we really haven't practiced the whole second half up until these last 2 weeks. So it's been good. We've been able to do some different things that we've wanted to do the second half and implement them, and we're looking forward to using them.
Connor Hardowa as well as Carter Rowney come in, defenseman from UNH, a forward from North Dakota, both around that 6'1", 210-ish kind of figure. What have you made of them with, I guess, a couple practices under their belts?
Well, it's been good to have them. They were both part of our development camp last summer and with the Calgary Flames up in Calgary, so they're kind of familiar with the staff a little bit, and that's the whole process that you go through in the summer when you bring guys in from college and try and get a look at them, and then we were fortunate to land them to come in here this spring. And I thought they've had 2 good days of prep. One's a forward, one's a D. Mainly the D's got the most learning here, like within our systems, and what Connor has to learn on his side of it as a defenseman. Carter on the other side as a forward doesn't have quite the learning curve that I think Connor has as a defenseman, but I've liked both of them in practice, and they're both coming along nicely, and we look forward to getting them in.
We've seen Paul Byron, Mike Testweed, and the newcomer, Mark Kandari, in practice. Can you confirm any of their attendance this weekend, or where they're at recovering from injuries, respectively?
Well, it's been good to have them because, as you mentioned, the timing's been great. We've lost 5 players in the last 6 days to Calgary, so they've had their injuries up there, and they've pulled some players up there. And so, a couple weeks ago when we played Toronto, we had all those guys in. We didn't have any of these new guys here, so quite the significant change for our team. I think Mark Kandari is going to be able to play this weekend after a couple of days of practice. We hope to utilize him for sure this weekend. On the other side, Mike Testweed, I think, is really close. It just depends on how they recover after today a little bit. That's back-to-back long days. And then Paul, we're a little bit more cautious with Paul. And Paul's skating well and doing some good things, but yet some things still have to transpire for Paul to play. But if all those things work out for Paul, then he'll be in there as well this weekend.
It's funny the way the world works. He was injured 3 shifts into his call-up to the Calgary Flames, but talking with him, he was glass half full. He said, if there's ever a time for me to get injured, I got to spend the first 8 weeks with my brand new daughter. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. And, it's unfortunate because the players, they really like to play, like regardless of anything else about the professional game, and the athlete really loves the game and they want to play all the time. And unfortunately that hasn't happened for Paul in a while, but I think the timing obviously couldn't have been better to be a father and being able to come home and having some things done that they had to do to his wrist and his hand, and then he was immobilized and able to be a father full time. And he's been working real hard in Abbotsford. They assigned him back here to do his rehab, so he's been around us for quite some time, and we're looking forward to getting him in.
Power play's been real sharp of late. I wonder what you chalk that up to, aside from what I've noticed is a lot of practice time of late for it.
Yeah, it's just mainly been a practice issue. I think we've had 4 days since January 1 where we've had back-to-back practices the whole second half. So, we had the great benefit of a good start to this season because we played a lot of home games. We felt confident and fresh here at home. And the second half's been a little bit different. We haven't had the practice time we did in the first half. So that's been the main contributing factor. And the other factors, I think we just settled into some players where, nobody got taken from our team for a while. And now it's happened. It's changed quite a bit. So we've had a lot of power play time today and a little bit yesterday. And we'll do a little bit again tomorrow to try and get this new group because it's basically changed again. So it makes it difficult. But, we're working through that.
All right. 3 options, pick one. You've got the Frozen 4, The games tomorrow determine your finalists for the college hockey championship. On Monday, we saw the Final Four, the basketball national championship determined, and then this weekend is the Masters. Any of those grab you? That they all kind of fall during hockey season, but I wonder if one of those is a tournament you really like to get into.
Well, I think, hockey, I'd like to be a part of the Frozen Four. I've been in the NCAA playoffs before when I was a college coach in the past, so you always enjoy that time. It's the college game is unique. When you're at a big-time program like when I was at Wisconsin or Denver, you're usually sponsored by Adidas and different companies, and you go to these big events in college, whether it be the Frozen Four this weekend in Pittsburgh or anywhere else in the NCAAs, you're afforded new clothing and all the things that come along with it. It's more of a bigger deal than people really realize for the athlete. They're just outfitted with all this stuff, and it's kind of like Christmas time. So it's a good time, and it's a special time mostly for your kids because they basically don everything that you don't want, and they get all new kinds of gear and things like that. But I certainly like that, and I certainly enjoy the basketball, though. I think the basketball and hockey are very similar on how you play the sport in different situations. So I really enjoyed the whole, the Sweet 16 right down to the Final 8, right down to the game the other night. It was great to watch.
Well, we'll look forward to the games this weekend, and thank you for sharing some time with us here on Wednesday.
You're welcome.